Ooh-wee. Oh my goodness. So y'all remember the video I did about Tyrese talking to Benjamin Crump about the Asian hate crime bill? And I want to make clear that the criticism that I levied was against Benjamin Crump more so than Tyrese Gibson. Because you have to understand, even I believed what Tyrese believed in the video. Because you have to think about, what was this bill promoted as? It was promoted as an Asian hate crime bill. It was promoted on the news networks, friends, family. You saw it everywhere. All the Republicans, all the Democrats, Asian hate crime bill, Asian hate crime bill, Asian hate crime bill. And the people they try to make, as far as the perpetrators of this crime, were black men. Black men this, black men that, all social media, everywhere. That's what the narrative was. So it's completely understandable for people to be upset talking about, yo, listen, how are they getting a bill for Asian hate crime and we don't have a bill for the black hate crimes that are perpetrated against us, given that we are the biggest victims of hate crimes? So I get that. The issue is with Benjamin Crump. Now, apparently, Roland Martin did a video. I don't think it was really disrespectful, but I can understand how someone can take it that way. But he was like, yo, you ignorant, you don't know what you're talking about. The Asian hate crime bill, we already went over it on my show with the Black Star Network. We've had 3 bills. And he lists off, the civil rights bill, the Sherman bill, I forgot, with Jason Byrd. He lists off the church arson bill, and I think that was it. Oh, and then the Emmett Till lynching bill.
All right, y'all. Let me make this video real quick, okay? Like real quick. Tyrese, you do not know what you're talking about. That video where you're talking about an anti-Asian crime bill, that is a lie. Please, learn to fact check before you start talking. I have debunked this nonsense numerous times on Roland Martin Unfiltered. If you're also going to run your mouths out here and go, there's never been a bill for African Americans, that's a lie. There have been 3 hate crimes bills specific to African Americans. The first one, you were dealing with the Civil Rights Act in 64, okay? Then you also had the hate crimes bill that dealt with black churches were being burned. I also broke that down on Roland Martin Unfiltered. And then, of course, you had the lynching bill that was also signed. Okay? And don't forget, you also have the Matthew Shepard, James Byrd Act that dealt with hate crimes.
Now, I've already gone over many of those bills, right? And the reason, because I did in a video talking about, yo, listen, I was wrong on this regard. When it comes to law, absolutely correct. I was right on that, where the law of that bill doesn't give any special privileges to Asians, right? It just doesn't. However, when it comes to the findings show why this bill came to be. And the bill came to be due to, a violence against the Asian community. That's what the findings say. Now, civil rights bill doesn't contain anything about black people. Doesn't say not a damn word about why this bill came to be, how this bill came to be, who was the main target for this bill to come to be. Doesn't say anything like that. When it comes to the Matthew Shepard law, right? The Matthew Shepard, Jason Byrd law. I already did a video on that, right? I described as far as it was called the Matthew Shepard law. And that was before it was called the Law Enforcement Act or something like that. But Jason Byrd, the black man, he was added onto that afterwards. That's correct. That's why it's and Jason Byrd. That's why it was considered that, because they weren't even thinking about Jason Byrd. And mind you, that man, the hate crime that happened to him, happened before the little gay white boy, Matthew Shepard. Just so we're clear. Black man gets the hate crime. That's what happened to him first. They skip over him and then focus on the white boy, the Matthew Shepard, make a hate crime for him, and then backpedal and be like, well, we include you in too.
Damn.
When it comes to the church one, because it was the Church Arson Act. Now, in that bill, if you look at it, public law, it talks about, hey, especially it was African American churches that were being burned down. Now, predominantly. Now, I'll let that slide because it doesn't mention as far as who really was being impacted by these burnings. And I just don't like how they try to mix that in, right? When they try to say, well, everything was being burned down. There was tons of crime happening towards religious figures, especially African Americans. Because it's like they try to shoehorn us in here. Whereas, the bill, it was made due to the crime and the violence that was happening to these black churches. They were being burnt down. They don't do that shoehorning when it comes to the Asian hate crime bill. Roland Martin, okay? If you look at the findings, they don't say, hey, there's been tons of hate crimes and especially Asians, okay? That's why we need to stop the hate crime and all that. No, they said, hey, this has been focused predominantly on this group of people, the Asian community and Pacific Islanders. Here are the names of the people that were attacked. They put out the names. No names in the Civil Rights Act. No names in the church bill. No names in the Matthew Shepard besides Jason Bird, but no names of other people who have been attacked in that. And when we look at the Jason Bird, like I said, it just mentions their name and then goes into the act. It doesn't say what happened to them, how it happened, who were the perpetrators. Doesn't mention any of that. Guess where it does mention some of those factors? Not all, but some of them is the Asian hate crime bill. It gives a full page contextualizing why this bill came to be. When it comes to the Emmett Till Lynching Act, nothing contextualizing that, bruh. All you know, if you didn't know anything about Emmett Till, you'd be like, okay, Emmett Till Lynching Act, got it, that's it. It doesn't tell you anything about Emmett Till, it doesn't tell you what happened, who did it, doesn't tell you any of that. There is no findings of why that bill came to be. They just have Emmett Till Lynching Act. This is a provision to stop, lynching as a make it a federal crime under subsection, yada, yada, yada. Only bill in the bills that Roland Martin listed that does that is the Asian hate crime bill. The only bill. That's the only bill. They don't try and do all lives matter in the bill. They do specifically Asians, Asian and Pacific Islanders. That's who they talk about. They mention what happened to them and mention the crime rates, and they mention as far as their names specifically, the victims there. Nowhere else is that being found in any of the bills that Roland Martin mentioned that are apparently for us. We know that they're for us, but outside of as far as us knowing this, it doesn't say it in the bill. There's no context of why this bill came to be. So you can miss me with that nonsense. Nevertheless, Tyrese Gibson responds. And he's like, first off, he completely, criticizes the black men who are just, throwing stabs, throwing jabs at Kamala Harris, mispronouncing her name, trying to attack her. He talks about, hey, you can disagree with the politics, but when you take it a step further, then that's just disrespectful.
Just continuing to witness the disrespect from black men specifically towards Kamala Harris, our soon-to-be president. The disrespect. And what does that mean? It's not disrespectful to not agree with someone politically. It's not disrespectful to have your own preference, whether you're a Republican, whether you're independent, or you are a Democrat. It's not disrespectful to not be interested in Kamala Harris. That's gaslighting. It's disrespectful to say that this black woman has a BBL and then she goes viral from that. It's disrespectful to be okay with calling her purposely Kamala, and then making a mockery of it, as if you would be okay with somebody disrespecting you and calling your mama out her name, or calling you out of your name, calling your daughter out of her name.
He addresses that, but then he gets into Roland Martin. He's like, listen, Roland Martin, I heard what you had to say. He's like, first off, the only reason I know about this is Benjamin Crump.
I seen your video, Roland Martin. Don't come at me, Roland. Call attorney Benjamin Crump. He's the one who made me aware of it. He's the one who's made me aware of the George Floyd bill that he's been trying to get put in place on behalf of protecting us. Don't attack me, dude. Who the fuck is you?
And he's absolutely correct. Tyrese is right. You should be lambasting Benjamin Crump, not Tyrese Gibson. What are you talking about? He said all this stuff in the presence of an attorney. Okay? He wasn't just talking out the ether. He was talking to an attorney who should know this, who should have corrected him on the spot. So for Roland Martin to direct his ire towards Tyrese Gibson, completely ill-founded, completely inappropriate. He should be getting on Benjamin Crump's ass and let Tyrese just go off like that. He should have corrected him. He's like, listen, my brother, I understand what you're saying, but what you're saying is partially inaccurate. Let me tell you why. No, what did this Benjamin Crump fool Sambo do? Talk about, well, that's why you got to vote, okay? That's why you got to vote. That's why it's so important. And I love how you just speak from the heart. And if you speak from the heart, we gonna win. Like this is some Disney movie, fam. Like we talking real life here, and he's talking like a Disney movie and a bunch of platitudes. Miss me with that nonsense, okay? So Tyrese lays into Roland Martin like, listen, don't play with me. I handle this differently, right? So I absolutely take as far as the side of Tyrese Gibson because Roland Martin is wrong. He should have corrected Benjamin Crump. Benjamin Crump is wrong. Benjamin Crump should have corrected Tyrese. That's what should have happened. Those who know better should do better. Tyrese doesn't know any better. He's going off of what everyone, the majority of American people, believe. Okay, that they made a law, and then he corrects himself. He said he doesn't feel, I'm going to bastardize his words, but he talks about he doesn't like that it came from, the violence going on with Asians for them.
I feel a way about the fact that a crime bill on behalf of protecting the Asian community was signed as soon as they got in the White House. That does not mean I'm voting Trump.
And in that sentiment, he's absolutely justified. Because if you look at the public law of the bill, what they did to that bill, they didn't do to any other black bill that was supposedly for us. They didn't do that. So he's absolutely justified in that feeling, in that sentiment. Roland Martin, I don't know what he's doing, bro. He should be good in that Benjamin Crump. Benjamin Crump, I don't know what he's doing, talking about voting and everything. It's this clown behavior. That's what this is. What was put on display by Roland Martin and Benjamin Crump was clown behavior. Anyways, guys, that's a video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, Lucas, no, Roland Martin right now, and Benjamin Crump is right, okay? The main point is to get out and vote. That's what the main point is. Or if you have to believe, okay, if that's what you want to say, fine. But you can do both, right? They're not mutually exclusive. You can correct him on his inaccuracy of the interpretation of the law, and also say, hey, but this is also why it's important to vote for people who are like-minded and who are trying to push bills forward, such as the George Floyd Policing Act. You can do both. So it just is what it is, bro. It is what it is. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me. Friday through Sunday, Disagreement Day. Number will be on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think, and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. That's why you got to vote. That's why it's so important.